Good evening. Welcome to the special major announcement meeting held by Hybrid Wrestling and Fusion Investment. I am very happy to welcome you. I'm Alex Sampson, chairman of Hybrid Wrestling as well as the chairman of Fusion Investment. So, I have a few of major announcements to make today. Therefore, I'm going to quickly go into it without wasting much of your time. But before we get there, we must reach the first thing because we gotta keep things in order. First off, I want to thank everybody who has supported Hybrid throughout the past year, in the good and bad. I would like to thank everybody who has attended. I want to thank everybody who has contributed. You'll see in a major way, pretty much. And I want to say that without you, Hybrid would not be possible. So I want to thank you really, really much for sticking up with Hybrid for the past year. We didn't have a happy time for the past month due to the obvious. However, I'm going to get into that in the later parts. But now we got to reach the first point of this meeting, which is the summary of December, from December 2024 up till December 2025. We have made it our mission to summarize the past year in a few statistics. So this is the pretty much boring part, I would say, of the statistics. You're gonna have timestamps in the description below, so you can skip for the future broadcasts and rewatches on YouTube when I'm gonna be done with it. So, first things first, let's get to the revenue part because that is the most important. For the past year, Hybrid has made a total amount of 26,509 Robux. That is the total revenue over the past year. Astonishing. Pretty astonishing, let me tell you. No other, you can put this up with any other indie promotion. No other indie promotion was able to do what we did with Hybrid for the past year when it comes to revenue wise. Like this says, the sales of goods, we have sold sponsorships, we have sold merch, we have sold special licenses and other purchases. We've made over 4,000 Robux alone from those sales over the past year, which maybe isn't that big if you compare it to other federations, but if you compare it to the indie federations, that is a very, very big number. Then there are commissions, the publishing advance rebates. We didn't do anything regarding that. We didn't trade any, what they're called. I don't know what they're called, but those 3D stuff. We didn't engage in that. Therefore, the numbers are so low. But now we go to commissions. Commissions are third-party sales inside of our venues. We have counted it up. Other people have made around 1.7k Robux from selling stuff in our venues. We have made around 200 Robux from it, which is 10% of the cut. That is Roblox's policy that we get 10% for distributing it. Meanwhile, the creator gets a 60% share. Rest goes to Roblox. That is their policy. And we go up to community revenue payouts. Community revenue payouts are how much we're giving away to you as our community for purchases and stuff like that. We have given away 11,481 Robux from our revenue, which is around 45%, something like that. And we have reached that point where we have been giving away pretty much half of our community's funds to all of you. We've given away almost half of our funds to all of you to ensure that the money goes back where it came from. We have bought tech from it. We have purchased many other things, belts, graphics, even special appearances, even new venues as well. We also purchased other Fed IPs. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And also GCW. We have purchased GCW from the funds. I will not pretty much go into the detail for that because, obviously now it's in different hands. But yeah, legally, but it is what it is. We've let it go. We don't hold grudge. So, some may say that the profit that we've made of 3,547 Robux, that's our profit that we've made. That's 13.38%. Now, some may say that is low. And I agree. It is low because it isn't much profit. But I am happy to say that Hybrid's funds have stayed in the Hybrid community's hands. These payouts have been made for Hybrid related costs. And we also acquired some of the GCW assets from the Hybrid funds. However, I must say now that the GCW acquisition was unfortunately not profitable. Now you know probably why. So the revenue part is done here. Now we're going to go to the average attendance analysis. We have made an analysis of average attendance that Hybrid was making. In December 2024, we've started with 19 people per show. That was a part of our analysis. 19 people per show. That's how much we had in December last year. Ending up to November, because that's the final, pretty much October, November, that period is pretty much the same. But yeah, we had to include it in the graphic and similar things. Ending at 47 up until November 1st, 2025. So that is an amazing achievement that we have made over the course of the last few shows that we had in October and the last one in November. Especially October time, which was, and pretty much the October time, which was the 1-year anniversary for Hybrid as a federation. It was in September. It was very, very, very profitable for the federation. And we reached up to 47 as our last average attendance period. It is a growth that we are truly proud of, but we know it could have been a lot bigger, and it should be a lot bigger. As you can see here now, this is the graphic that I was talking about. Unfortunately, it didn't turn on. Now it did. So this is the graphic I was talking about. You can take a look on it for a second before we're going to switch up to a different graphic. Graphic featuring the membership analysis, which is also pretty interesting to say the least. The membership analysis is basically how many people have been a part of Hybrid Wrestling throughout the past year. We're especially talking about Discord numbers, because that was our starting point. In December 2024, we have began with around 160 members. Now it has around 470 members, which is a growth of 293.7%. That's a lot. And before November 1st, it was even bigger with 580 members, which gives us growth at 362.5%. No other federation, no matter if it's indie or it's big, no one has made such percentage growth as Hybrid did. We have tripled and almost quadrupled our members from the start of the December 2024 period. This is unprecedented. This is unusual for pro wrestling. We have truly made a difference. But now all good things must come to an end. We must go to the second part of the summary, which is obviously the November controversy. Now, this is a very personal thing, so I'm going to speak on behalf of myself. We couldn't have summarized Hybrid's year of existence without the scandal that has pretty much halted Hybrid's previous momentum. Once again, I would like to personally, wholeheartedly apologize for my immature actions that have caused this November controversy to take place. I realize my mistakes. I know what to correct for the future, and I will do everything that I can to avoid such things happening in the future. I do believe that if it didn't happen, if my personal lust would not take over, then a hybrid would already be at around 650 people on Discord. We would be up there in probably top 7 of all pro wrestling federations out there. However, we're not, and we gotta face that. So, we're gonna go up to the third topic, which is the Hybrid Loyalty Program. As you may have heard, on the 7th of December, we have officially unveiled the Hybrid Loyalty Program, which is Hybrid's first real attempt at a program, a membership loyalty program, which is supposed to keep you around Hybrid alongside our new content. Like previously announced, the first payment will go out on the 25th to around 20 of the signed up roster members. Now, who will not receive the payment? Because that is the most important thing. If you have not attended even one show, we had 2 shows so far and 2 more to come this week. If you won't attend this week's shows, it means that you are not eligible for the payment. We are paying out people who are loyal, who are active, who come to shows. And that's why, if you don't get the Robux on your bank account, you will now know why that is. And up next, we got ourselves the Genesis situation. As announced a few days after the scandal, Supremo Slayer, Zed Malin, and a few other staff members have formally quit Hybrid and taken all the Genesis properties with them. Illegally, but they did. And as announced on November 24th by me on X, we have relinquished all the rights to Genesis, as we realized that there was no point in fighting for it, and it was just our losses, and we gotta let go. I wish them personally the best of luck, and Hybrid will also not enforce a Fed ban towards Genesis. We are bigger than that. We believe in your freedom of choice, and we believe that you have the right to choose what federation to go to and which federation to not attend. That is your right. No one can enforce you otherwise. If they try to do so, they're stupid. And I realize that. And I hope you do too, because it's pretty much the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the part 1 of our meeting, so to speak, the press conference. And now it's time for the number 2, which is none other than the major announcement. This is your time. 14:27. This is your time. We're gonna go there in a moment, but before we do, there's one major change that I would like to announce. There's a reason why Fusion Investment is on the graphic. Fusion Investment has acquired Hybrid Wrestling, and as I've told you, Fusion Investment is my private investment firm, which I used for many other of my encounters beforehand. It has its own staff team, it has its own board, I will call it, and consisting of following people: JJ Styles, Jackson Reaper, Baba Hakeem, and Jay Mercy. Those four people are also part of the Hybrid staff, which came from the acquisition of Hybrid by Fusion Investment. We have previously invested in WBF, WBF, NWF, Wild Wrestling, Kingpin Boxing, owned by Cody Taiwo, Hybrid itself, GCW, BWE, and especially Roblox BD Sport, aka Roblox Sports, which is the biggest property of our portfolio. Our goal was to analyze Hybrid's current state and answer these 7 important questions. Number 1, what is Hybrid's PR situation and whether it's possible to save it? 2, what is Hybrid's financial situation and whether it's possible to save it? 3, what are the odds of talent rejoining Hybrid after the scandals? 4, how much did the scandal affect Hybrid personally, professionally, PR-wise, financial-wise, and all in between? 5, what is Hybrid's current relationship with the community and its partners? 6, will Hybrid be able to regain the good PR presence that it had before, and how much time and resources would be able to get us there? And finally, does Hybrid have enough resources to save itself? And unfortunately, the audit that we have conducted, the answer was negative. We've made the public poll regarding Hybrid's future as part of the audit a few days ago on our Discord server. It's shown that although we have engagement of the currently active people somewhat, we did not reach anyone outside of the bubble to take part, which in practice means that Hybrid fell out of the mainstream of Raw Wrestling. And we estimated that no mainstream partner would want to work with us in its current form. So for the past 48 hours, we had a difficult decision to make. Me alongside the staff. We've been negotiating for the past 48 hours. We have been going back and forth, talking about a few different scenarios, some good, some bad, and we've reached a compromise. And here I am announcing that Hybrid will not continue in 2026. The brand is dead, the structure is too broken to continue operating like this, and the reputation is beyond saving. However, we did make another decision, even bigger than this one. Hybrid may be dead, but from the ashes will rise a new player on the scene. It's called Grand. The full name Grand Wrestling is going to be the federation to go to for fun, excitement, and, no pun intended, grand emotions, matches, storylines. Our goal with Grand is to continue Hybrid's legacy while making it our own. But our most important goal is for Grand to become a top player in the wrestling community. We're not aiming for the best indie fed spot no more. That's for kiddos. That's not for us. We're not doing things that way. We've done it that way for a year. We've crushed the competition on the indies. We don't need that. We're above that. Instead, we are aiming for the grand prize. We are aiming for the number 1 federation in Raw Wrestling. We are aiming to become the federation of Pro Wrestling. That is what we're aiming for, and that is where we are able to go. Grand will continue the good tradition of hardcore matches that have become Hybrid's top engagement position. Hardcore wrestling is a bit forgotten in current day Pro Wrestling. It's currently outdated and a little bit underrated. But we believe that it is possible to bring it back to the mainstream because people just love to see blood all everywhere. I mean, we had so much engagement when we did hardcore matches. For instance, Jake Mayhem versus LVP. It was the best hybrid match of all time, and it was a hardcore match, believe it or not. Which created the most buzz, the most engagement, and the most excitement. And we want to continue going to that route. We are aiming to bring back hardcore wrestling to the mainstream where it belongs. Grand will also try out new storylines, new gimmicks, new matchups. With the 50-50 booking, hopefully, dead in the water. That's not what we want to do. We don't want to do all storylines like based on respect and I like you, I don't like you. That's for marks. That's not for us. That's for kiddos. It's not for us. We want to do good storylines, real storylines, which can happen. But also, sometimes, we want to go upon the creativity. We want to be creative. We want to be unusual. We want to be revolutionary. We want to be the standard of Pro Wrestling. That's the aim. That's what we want to do. We want to blur the lines between reality and kayfabe. We want to open you to many experiences in one night. We want to make you cry. We want to make you smile, rage, sad, or even terrified sometimes. We want to give you the most engaging content that Pro Wrestling will have to offer. And we want to give you content that other federations wouldn't bother to touch or are too scared to touch. Nothing is off limits for us. We want to bring you the ultimate wrestling experience on Roblox. That is our main goal. And at this point, I would also like to state for the record that hybrid is dead, and I hope will stay dead, but Grand, on the other hand, will support the Clean Lives Matter movement. We all have seen cheaters in pro wrestling just going around using auto clickers, using cheat engines, using other clients, using exploits. This is common for wrestling nowadays, and we want to get rid of that. We want to join the cause of getting rid of all cheaters from the community because we want fair competition. We are 100% backing the Clean Lives Matter movement, and we believe that cheating is a form of fraud. And due to that, we will be relentless on that front. Therefore, we will impose a total no tolerance policy with blacklists issued to cheaters without an option to appeal, which means if you are caught cheating, if you cheat, you're going to get caught and you're going to get fired, you're going to get blacklisted, you will never join Grand again. And we will make sure that no other Pro Wrestling fans will take you. That is our goal. That is the promise that we give you. Because there is no place for cheating in our federation and in Pro Wrestling. Grand will also have 2 new shows. One as a brand, one as a house show. House shows are passé. House shows, being called house shows, are passé. Really passé. They don't give you the excitement that you want to have. They don't give you the excitement you want to be, that you want to be a part of it. You want to fight. You want to give it all. Instead, they will be called death row. Now, why death row, you may ask? Well, it's because they will be the most hardcore, the most non-PG in the PG era of pro wrestling. We want to give you chaos. We want to give you unpredictability. We want to give you wild things that you will never see anywhere else because they're too afraid to go that far. And of course, everyone has standards, and we do too. But we want to push the creative envelope so up that we have all the creativity we need, we have all the storylines we need, all the ideas we need to make this event a success, to make you want to join in every single week, and to make you give away your money that you earn and put into Robux, to make you give away the money for a right cause. But most importantly, to make you engaged, to make you loyal, to make you passionate about Grand. And most importantly about Death Row is that the roulette will decide the stipulation for the matches, not the GMs, not us. The wheel will decide the matches. You could have seen it. During 2 of our house shows, we were using the wheel, aka the roulette, to basically make matches for us, and that's going to be no different. We want wild unpredictability. We want things to go unexpected, and that's why we're not going to be booking ourselves. We're going to be using the wheel to do it for us. That is going to bring you unlimited options of matches, storylines, and a very different experience. A lot better one. Because everything can happen. Literally, everything can happen. Meanwhile, I also announced that Mayhem, our longest serving brand, has been with us for the past year, will be stepping into its deserved retirement. And it will be replaced by a brand called Fire. Fire will air on Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The logo is not yet ready to be shown. However, it will be made as soon as possible, so you can see it for yourselves. Now, it's time to get to the big things. It's time to go for 2026. The question now is, what will 2026 be like? Well, obviously, I'm saying these big things here. You may say, Alex, you're saying such big things, but how the hell you want to do that? How the hell you want to reach the number 1 spot? How the hell you want to be the best? I'm going to tell you right here, right now. 2026 will be our year of truth, and we are all aware of it. And the year will also be Raw Wrestling's year of truth, which we also take into consideration. So what we are expecting to do by the end of 2026 and what our plans for 2026, you're about to learn right now. Number 1, Grand will cross 600 members on its Discord by the end of 2026. Hybrid was very close to reaching and even crossing this path, which was the next logical step. However, due to obvious reasons, it was stopped. And I am very optimistic about the future and about Grand being a good product for all of you. We invite everybody, no matter if you're cleans, no matter if you're hardcore. Cleans, hardcore, we can even teach you how to do cleans. If you're coming from animations, you're coming from roleplay, we will teach you how to do cleans. And you can come in and have fun here. That's what I want to do. Or even do hardcore. We want you to have fun here. That's what we aim on. That's what we aim for. And that's what we're going to be able to do and provide for you. Number 2, Grand shows average will cross 50 by some point in 2026. October, November average numbers are our entering points. The average was 47. We believe that by the end of 2026, we will be able to cross 50 per show once again without being able to being stopped by some shenanigans, whether it's mine or someone else's. They are very high, but I know that Grand will be able to do it. With the plans we got for you, I know we can do it. Number 3 are reaching 10 important partners. Hybrid has had many partners throughout its year history, but unfortunately, pretty much 90% of them, except for like 3 or 4 federations, out of like 30, 40, 50 we've partnered with over the year, maybe 60, we didn't keep good relations with them. We were basically pinging for their federation and we stopped contact from there. 2026 and Grand will put an end to that. We want to reach 10 partners, 10 important partners, to make sure that Grand grows and they get what they're deserving for partnering with us. We want to make sure that Grand will be the place to go to, the place to partner with, and that's why we give ourselves this goal: reach 10 important partnerships during the course of 2026. We want to partner with everybody. No matter if you're roleplay, cleans, animations, hardcore, maybe something out of the box. If you are able to give us what we can give for you, and we can make a mutual deal, we're open to it. We're going to consider it, we're going to negotiate, we're going to make a compromise, or get the deal done. That's the goal. That's the third goal of reaching 10 important partners, because partners are very important in this community. And then there's point 4. Grand will reach top 10 federation status. Now, you may ask me, Alex, this isn't aiming for number 1. What the hell are you doing? And I agree. No federation, realistically, would be able to do it in 1 year to reach the number 1 spot. 2026 will be our test year, where we figure out how we can hit the big fishes in the pond. And in 2027, we are coming for you. 2027 will be the year, mark my words. 2027 will be the year where Grand will become number 1 in pro wrestling. I promise you. And I'm going to do everything that I can. I'm going to sign whatever deals necessary to make it happen. I'm going to book whatever necessary to make Grand number 1. That is my goal. Make this place number 1 for the first time, and then I'm going to think about quitting. So, fans like OPRW, RW, CGW, and those other suckers who are in the community. So-called suckers. I don't want to insult you, but still. You get what I mean. With no insult. No pun intended, of course. We are going to give you 1 year to prepare to fight us. We are giving you 1 year to prepare. Because come 2027, if you don't prepare, you ain't gonna stop us. You ain't gonna be even close. We're gonna squash you. We're gonna crush you. You're gonna crash and burn. So yeah, you're not gonna be able to stop us if you don't prepare. And come 2027, we're coming for all of you. And we're taking over the number 1 spot. That is my life goal right now. A little bit of friendly competition may finally make you good. So we're gonna go up next. Grand will cross 60 people on attendance. 57. 57 people in the building. That's our record. And we want to cross 60 as our next logical step. And our goal is to raise the record and show that we are the place to go to. And the most important outside of the top 10 spot is that Grant will aim to sign at least 2 top pro wrestling stars. So, yeah, we're not only just coming for the federation spots. We don't just aim to be top 10. We aim to have the best talent in the community. The most mainstream stars, the most talented stars. We want to sign important stars to this federation. Because Grant is thinking big time. Grant is not thinking indie time. We're thinking big time. And we make it our mission to sign at least 2 top pro wrestling stars to our federation to solidify the position of our federation in the top 10 and to give us a comfortable spot where we can attack the number 1 spot. 2026 must be the year where the Grand Universe will welcome at least 2 top stars in order for them to raise up our value and, most importantly, get the competition at its best, because that is the most important today. If you don't got good competition, your fed is cooked. We want to make this federation the number 1 competitive fed in pro wrestling. And therefore, we're going to sign or attempt to sign the best of the best, the most talented people, the most upcoming people, the most mainstream people, and people who haven't been discovered yet, but they're going to be discovered under Grand Wrestling. So, ladies and gentlemen, the new era of pro wrestling is upon us. Grand is coming to town. And believe me, this federation will be nothing to what you've seen before. Will be nothing like you've seen before. This federation will be number 1 by the end of 2027, and that's my promise. The final promise to this community that I'm ever gonna give is that this federation will reach number 1. And when it does, then we're gonna think about what else to do. My last mission in this community is to make Grand number 1. If that succeeds, I'm gonna be very happy. I'm gonna be feeling satisfied. I'm going to actually book myself a flight to the US to celebrate there. I'm gonna find the money. So yeah, that's my goal. So ladies and gentlemen, the grand era of pro wrestling is finally here. And I hope you're ready for it. Because if you ain't, all hell will break loose. Thank you very much. That will mark the end of our meeting. And I want to thank all of you for coming in. I appreciate all of you being here. And I hope you're going to have a phenomenal day or a phenomenal evening, wherever you want to hear it. And beware of Grand Wrestling in 2026. Because we're coming in. And we are taking over.